What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Are y'all here? I just want to make sure. Did I share this? Just want to make sure I shared it. I know I shared it on Instagram, but I don't know if I shared it on my YouTube's. But welcome, welcome, everybody. Oh, hold on. I'm not even logged into the right account. That's why. Hopefully everybody is being safe out there. I know it's been a little crazy, right? A lot of craziness going on. As I said earlier this morning, nothing is normal about any of this that is going on. That's why I needed to personally take a break, and we talking about something else for right now. Now, hello everybody. Thank y'all for coming in the room. What's up, Jazz? What's up, Denitria? What's up, Tasha? What's up, Beautiful? Hello, hello. Who else we got here? We got V. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate y'all. Lady Y, thank you for coming. All right. So this was inspired by Toxic Diamond, aka True Diamond. I was watching her earlier and she mentioned something about like, we are going to be doing content on white celebrities as well too. And it made me think about something that she had said long years ago, right? I remember she made a community post and she was all like, y'all hella racist. Y'all need to watch my white content too. Like, I still remember that. I don't even know if Tox even remembers she said that, but I remember it was a community post and she said, y'all hella racist. Y'all need to watch my white content too. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I don't know if you guys know, but as a Black content creator, you get caught in just this one realm of, you know, either drama or disrespecting a Black celebrity in some way. You can't walk over to the other side and talk about them crazy and think that you're going to be a big star. I've never seen it. This is why you have the Caucasians like Aiden Ross, who literally can say anything, say the N-word, disrespect Black women, and there's no repercussions because, yes, they can do that, but we cannot do that. We got to come in tiptoeing. You know, we can't just come in smashing everything like that. Now, we can talk about each other, right? We can call each other all kind of monkeys and this and that. But there we go in on, you know, the others. Oh, no. Unacceptable. That will never happen. And it had me thinking that how do we break that mold where we can be like a TMZ and talk about anybody? You know, I'll give you an example, like even like the Shade Room, Baller Alert, like they do talk about, you know, white celebrities too, but they know that their meat and potatoes, where they make their money, is talking about other Black people. Like they know that they can't really go too far or too into like that world, unless it's like somebody like the Kardashians, because Kardashians are kind of mixed in with just popular culture in general. But even to a certain extent, they can't really go in like they do on the Black celebrities. And maybe we have garnered our content to more we cater towards them in the way that we talk about them. But again, like I said, it's a fact that more Black content creators get reported than white content creators. Also, talking about social justice and racial injustice, it gets lowered on the algorithm. But when it comes to like these alt-right white supremacy things, they get promoted more and their content don't get suppressed. And this was before this administration. Like this This is from a report from 2023. So when you see these kind of things, it does kind of discourage you, like, well, damn, I just have to stick with this, and I can only talk about this, and I can't just venture out to other things. You know, it was a risk for me really getting into politics and being able to talk about certain things, because I felt like, I don't know how this is going to work with the algorithm. I had to come up with a strategy and see if this works, because Black people are interested in things that are not necessarily just targeted towards Black people. Black people are interested in anime. You know, I'm not an anime fan, but Black people are interested in anime. You know, technology. Black people are interested in finance, but you don't really see a lot of us doing that kind of stuff on social media. Well, let me take that back. There is a lot of us that do those things. However, as far as like the bigger content creators and the people really out there that get promoted doing that, there's not a lot of people that look like us. And, you know, and it does fall into the racial bias, as far as like, if someone sees a white content creator on their timeline, they're more than likely to stop on those videos and watch, compared to a Black content creator, unless the Black content creator has a non-threatening look to them, or more of a Eurocentric look to, you know, the beauty standards. They're more than likely that, yes, somebody will watch them. But again, most of the content, even if you are Black, it will be garnered towards Black people, even if it's something that Black people aren't really interested in. You'll be typecast in this bubble. And I think social media has it that way. They have it to where you're only allowed in certain spaces. Like, for example, there was this thing on TikTok where, like, it was this controversy with Asians. Like, this one girl who's half white, half Asian was talking about how white people will come up to the stores and ask you, like, oh, what's your suggestion for this and that? And then there was another group of Asians who were coming at that girl like, oh, well, you should want to help and you should be helpful, blah, blah, blah. And so it was like this whole thing where, like, the Asians were battling, right? And Black people were all like, oh, we in Asian people business now. And, you know, making jokes and stuff like that. But what's interesting is, like, if you think about it, like, you'll see white people fight online, but why don't we see the Asians or the Hispanics fighting each other online? Have y'all ever wondered that? Maybe I don't see it. Again, I don't mind saying I'm wrong, but put a 1 in the chat if you see the Latinos and the Asians fighting each other the same way that you see, let me clarify, the same way that you see the Black people fighting. Do you see the Asians and the Hispanics fighting that way? Because they know the power of unification? That's true. You know, we don't see them fighting online like that. And maybe they're better at hiding it, but, you know, if you type in, you know, any Black content creator, you'll see some shit on there. You know, you gonna see some shit. Like, I don't know if there's a Latino T sector or an Asian T sector. I don't know if there is one, but usually, as far as like even with their celebrities and stuff like that, I don't really see anything. And I don't necessarily think that, oh, well, it's only certain Spanish artists or anything like that. Like, you know, for the most part, I'm talking about, you know, someone who's American who happens to be Latino. Like, I don't really see like the gossip and stuff on them, but somebody like a Tyler Perry, there's articles and articles of a whole bunch of drama, you know? Right, Darcy. Yeah, we don't see that amongst them. Latino T sectors are more into TikTok, especially Chicago creators. They have their sector. Yeah. And that's the thing. And thank you, Darcy. That's what I'm getting to. Like, they do have their sectors. They are online, you guys. Like, this is a fact. They are online, but we don't see them. Like, why is that? Thank you, City Girls. I appreciate the super sticker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for going live because my daughter decided she wanted me to start on her hair. You're welcome, Jessica. No problem. But they're fighting amongst themselves. A Latino blogger K-word, a black blogger. Wait, who's K? I've never heard of. And that's another. I've never heard of K-word. K-word could be a big content creator, and I don't know who K-word is. Who's K-word? Why don't I know K-word? Now, when I think of K-word, I'm thinking Natasha K. You know, or when I see a K. Their content is in mostly their native language. Well, and that's the thing, V. I disagree with that because I'm not talking about like people from Asia or people from a Latin country. Like, I'm talking about the Americans. You know, the Americans, we should see them. Oh, I get what you're trying to. Okay, I didn't understand what you were trying to say, Kimberly, but yeah, okay. So that's one situation that we did see, but I've never heard of that guy until he killed those black people. So I don't even count that because I didn't know until he killed two black people who he was. So again, that didn't even, and mind you, they didn't even, rest in peace to them. They didn't come up on my timeline either. I had no idea who they were, but I didn't know who he was until he killed them. So that still proves my point. Like, why don't we see people like that? Papa, you don't know Latino creators because you're not Latin or Asian. And I think, but I disagree with you, Ronnie, because the Latino and Asians, they know black people. Just like we see all the ghetto ratchet videos and black people fighting each other and disrespecting each other, they get that on their timeline. But why don't we get it on our timeline of them acting a fool? Now, are we going to say that Latinos and Asians don't act a fool? You know? And it's sad that we talk about it, but it's true. Like, a lot of the negative stuff that you see, all the ratchet videos and stuff like that, they see that because I see them reposting it. You see them in the comment section. Like, they're getting that, but we don't get anything with them in it. Black people, black folk are don't give a fuck. We are more expressive. I'm quite sure Asian and Mexican / Spanish people are as well. Papa, that's because black people have the sauce. If you notice in culture, most emulate black culture. Yes. And ding, 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 ding. Yes, that is right. Right? That's correct. I definitely agree with that. We kind of set the tone when it comes to the culture. Like, if you want something to be popular, you put it in the let me say this. When something becomes popular, then they'll start gentrifying it and then they'll take it over. Kind of like this reminds me of early 2020, 2021 during the panorama. Remember, all the black content creators were doing the dances, but they had the white content creators do, also copy the dances from the black content creators, and then they were getting the TV deals, they were getting all the publicity, but the black content creators who actually created the dances weren't getting exposure like that. You know, this has historical context to it. They were not getting the same attention and the same shine. You know, the what were they named? Like the Addison Rae, the Carmelia D'Amelio or whatever. I don't I think it's D'Amelio or something like that. But you know what I'm saying, you know. And that could be true too. Eminem, Blue Eye. Oh, shoot. What did I do? Hold on, y'all. Explain Eminem or Blue Eye Soul singers. They're capitalizing on the culture without having to go through the lived experience. Yeah. It's like that. You know, there's a conversation about R&B music being dead, but no, there's still black people that do R&B. They just don't want to hear R&B from black artists. Black people are trendsetters. Yes, this is true. The algorithm only plays what we want to see. So, and well, a couple of things. Yes, it plays what we want to see, but also it's manipulated by, okay, we believe that this person want to watch this. You know? And maybe we should do a study. I think what I'll do is create like a not, I don't want to say a troll account, but like a dummy account, and I'll follow only like Latino creators and see if it will just give me Latino creators and not expose me to the black creators. And again, it is fair to say, like, okay, well, if you're black, more than likely you are in this culture, and so this is what you're going to see. Yes, and hit that like button. Let me split hairs. Some are appreciating black culture while others are appropriate. Yes, they're two different things. Right. Mannerism, clothing, food, speech. This is DEI is bullshit. This is why DEI is bullshit. And I always, because here's one of the things I always wonder, you know, is there, well, no, there is some content creators. Like, for example, I feel that somebody like Empire can talk about the housewives and stuff like that, and not necessarily the black ones, but he can talk about, you know, all the Bravo shows and stuff like that. And I feel like he's someone who does break that mold. When we talk about the streamers, we have to give credit to Kai Cenat and iShowSpeed. They've been able to really get into that streamer, which is mostly I don't want to say own. Own is not the right word, but I'm looking dominated by white people, you know. Another content creator who really was in that space where they could talk about mostly like white celebrity gossip and stuff like that, Sherelle's World. We have to give Sherelle's World her flowers, you know? She definitely was in that space. Now, I don't know what happened to where she changed and was all like, okay, well, I kind of want to go more into the urban side, but, you know, she was in that space. We have to give her flowers. It's working on Kai's health, though. Yes, that is true. Ooh, that's right. It's not organic. It's not. It's heavily manipulated. Like, y'all know when people go viral and stuff like that, that's someone doing that at head of the company. Like that's not natural. Like it didn't just all of a sudden just happen. Like there's people who manipulate the algorithm to be like, all right, this is what people want to see. All it takes is one video you watch though. Becca Bloom popped up in my algorithm, and I've been on the rich side of Instagram ever since. Who's Becca Bloom? Who's that? Let me go look. Oh, she's Asian. Okay. But see, why I ain't never seen Becca Bloom? Why you only seen Becca Bloom? I ain't never seen Becca Bloom before. You know? Now I know who Becca Bloom is. I'm gonna go watch her. And when I watch a couple of her videos, because I'm gonna do a test, I'm gonna watch a couple of her videos and see if Becca Bloom pop up on my timeline. Gideon out here making the white politic boys say, who's that? I don't even know who Gideon is. K-pop would get you Asians. Yeah, that's true. Oh, I know who he. Okay, I'm so I know who he is now. Okay, I know who he is. You know, funny part, I never really knew what his name was. I just knew that he was the black dude that. Never mind. Reggaeton would get you Latino. And I feel like with K-pop, that's like mainstream. AT2, who's that? Y'all know sometimes like I'll be all like, wait, who? Huh? You know. Like if I don't know something, I won't pretend. Like I won't be like, oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I will not pretend at all. You know. But the bulk of the messiness is in Korean. Well, I know there's a lot of content creators who are not Korean that speak on like K-pop and stuff like that. But I'm not really interested in it, so maybe that's why I don't get it. But sometimes I do see like the videos on my shorts. Like it won't pop up on my timeline, like on my YouTube, like on my homepage, but like YouTube shorts, I'll get the Korean. That's one thing too. I don't know if maybe in the K-pop genre they do a lot of shorts, but I get a lot of shorts of K-pop. 82, anytime the algorithm catches you multiple times shooting for Asians or Hispanic content, that they'll start shooting it to you, but you have to watch it. Mm, okay. Yeah, I'm looking through my shorts right now and I see like a lot of like K-pop shorts on like different groups and stuff like that. So yeah, on my short timeline, which is so weird because like with YouTube, you have like a different timeline for different stuff. But yeah, I'll get a lot of the K-pop stuff more than I do like political videos when it comes to the shorts, which is weird. And also to go with Lady Y, it's like the stuff that you look at and the people associated with those accounts too. So it'll keep you in that algorithm. Um, which is essential to like, you know, you kind of curate what you want, but there is like a lot of manipulation with the algorithm and stuff like that. It's not just natural. There's not a huge number of Asian American celebrities. It's typical that they're trying to appeal to the white America, like Jenny Mai, or Black America, also like Jenny Mai. Right, right. No, and that is true. With the Asian community, there is less celebrities, but with the Latino community, I would disagree with that. I would say like they definitely have their they do have a lot of celebrities, but with the Asian community, I can definitely see that it's not a lot of them as far as like celebrities or well-known celebrities. You know, whenever somebody says name a Asian actor or actress, you know, I go with Jackie Chan, Lucy Liu, Jet Li. You know, I go back to like the '90s throwbacks. I don't even think of anyone today. You know, I have to seriously search for Latino content creators out there. Yeah, and you know, and that's the thing. Like, there are a lot of Latino creators. I do know that for a fact, but we don't see them like that. You know. But I don't want to kind of shy away from what, you know, I wanted to talk about. But again, it is kind of hard to expand and talk about other things when you are a Black content creator, because it puts you into like this endless timeline when you're talking about the same shit all the time. And it's like, and mind you, we do it to ourselves, because at the end of the day, we don't have to talk about negative news about Black people. We could talk about the positive, but we know that people love the negative, you know? Oh, I talked about it on my main channel, Jessica. But yeah, we kind of control what we the content that we do. We control that. That definitely falls on us. But as far as getting seen and the content getting out there, that's the challenging part. And again, I'm not saying that no one can't do it, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. I mean, obviously, I have been able to break the mold and be able to talk about other things, but that's not true for everyone. I think also, too, content creators have to be willing to take risk, especially Black content creators. You have to be able to take risk. If you're not willing to take a risk on yourself and expand your content, then you're always going to stay small. You're never going to grow. Talk the truth, nobody listens. Talk about mess. Right. What's up, Mary? If it bleeds, it leads. On these YouTube streets, wretchedness rules the day. Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. And also, when it comes to like the negative stuff between creators and stuff like that, we can really help that. We can help stop that. Like, I'm kind of in the space where it's all like, I don't want to rag on people or try to bring them down. I want to be more uplifting. And that's something that also we can control. Like, if somebody pisses you off, you don't have to do a video on that person, you know? And it's true. It's that simple. You don't have to do a video on that person. Oh, this person made me mad, so I'm gonna fire up a live and do this. You don't have to do that. And maybe the others, they think like, okay, well, I don't have to do that, so I'm not going to do that. But with us, we'll definitely fire up a live and start cussing and yelling at each other. You know, a lot of the stuff that a lot of the stuff is in our control, and then a lot of stuff is not in our control. It definitely goes both ways. This is about money, though. If people know some is going to get dragged, then they know that the clicks and views are a paycheck. That is true. That is definitely true. Also, there's a lot of biases when it comes to like sponsors and stuff like that. Like with Black content creators, they'll either try to, have it be some kind of promo deal where they'll give you a free product instead of like paying you and giving you the product. So there's stuff with that where compared to white creators, they'll cash them out. You know, there's a lot of disparities with that. Some people who are Black feel like they can get over on you because you Black, and it's all like, no, 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 no. You can't just get over on me. This is a business. I see so many small white channels who have sponsors. Right, right. But somebody like me, I should have sponsors up the raw zoo. Oh, and by the way, I'm still searching for a manager. The person who was supposed to step up and become my manager, they're not. Yeah, so I'm still looking for a manager, by the way. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. But I'm happy that I did have this discussion. And shout out to True Diamond, aka Tox. If she watches this, I would love to get her opinion on this. But thank you guys for checking out the video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. But we out of here, y'all. Deuces, everybody.